Yeah, welcome to Point to Point channel. So today I will discuss about SQL self join. Okay, so before discussing about this self join, okay, let me remind you, okay, about inner join, left join, and right join. So earlier we have discussed in detail about all these joins. So whenever we use this inner join and left join and right join, so we used to join two separate tables, so the table 1 and table 2 both are completely different. I mean they both are completely new tables. I mean completely different tables. Okay, so then we used to join table 1 and table 2 on with some condition in the sense, obviously we need to have some a common column kind of thing in both the tables. So now we used to join those two tables based on some condition. Okay, so you know like that we handled the joins, when we discussed about this inner join and left join and right join. Now what is this self join? Do we have a keyword known as self join? No, so we don't have any keyword self join. Okay, so here the basically the word self join itself represents kind of a self meaning. You are going to join the table with itself. Okay, so you don't have any two tables. Okay, so now the next question will arise. Okay, how we are going to join the table with itself? Okay, so to overcome this issue, we will take the help of aliases. Okay, so that means, for example, table t1 comma table t2, the same table only, we just specify the aliases, so as if they both will be a kind of different tables. Okay, so we will treat them as a different tables with the help of aliases. Okay, so then again we will join those two tables with the help of either inner join or left join, whatever your interest. Okay, so we don't have any self join keyword. Basically we will join the same table with itself using inner join, left join, or the regular joins itself. I hope the concept is clear. Okay, now let's write some examples. Okay, so that I mean you will get a better understanding on self join. Okay, let's see. So here, if you see, I have one employee table, employee underscore some um, some employee underscore SCQ. One table is there. Okay. So here, if you see, see, I have some 10 rows. Okay. So here, if you see in the 10 rows, okay, I have ID, name, gender, okay, and salary and city, age, and his manager ID. Okay. So basically, mostly, self join is used in the case of hierarchical data structure. So that means, all employees are reporting to some manager. Okay, this is kind of in an organization. Obviously, you will have some tree structure, right? So employee will report to one manager, and that manager will report to one more manager, or something like that. Or you can take one more example. Uh, son. I mean, son has one parent, and that parent has one more parent. So if you have something kind of this hierarchical structure, then immediately you need to think about self join. Okay, so now here in our example I have some 10 employees. Okay, now if you see the first employee Raja, okay, he is reporting to a manager whose ID is 8. Okay, obviously the manager is also a kind of employee, right, in the same organization. So now if you see the manager ID 8, okay, if you come to 8th row, okay, so here if you see obviously her name is Anupama. Okay, so that means Raja is reporting to Anupama, right? So why? Because here 8 is the employee ID. So manager is also an employee in the same organization. Obviously Anupama is the manager to this Raja. Something like that you can see. So now here if you see first 7 rows are reporting to only 8, 9, and 8, 9, or something like that. So that means so first 7 employees are reporting to either Anupama or Mohan or something. Now finally Anupama or Mohan are reporting to Rani. Okay, Rani is the CEO. So Rani does not have any manager. Why? Because she is the CEO. So let's assume if you have such kind of data. Okay, now how you will um, fulfill your requirements by doing some self join. Okay, so let's see one by one example. Okay, So the first requirement is here, if you see, print the employee data. Okay, employee with ID, name, and manager name. So here if you see, we have only manager ID, right? We don't have any manager name. Okay, so obviously how we will print the manager name? So in order to print the manager name, so we will take the help of self join. So now here if you see you know this highlighted data. Okay, so I just opened in one more table. See, so just think like, these both are two separate tables. I'm just showing in two separate tabs. Okay, they both are two separate tables. Now if you see this manager ID, as I said sometime before, I mean this manager ID is nothing but a employee ID in the same organization, right? So then why don't you match these data of manager ID, okay, with the ID column in the second table? Why? Because manager's ID is also a, see, they are also employees, right, in the same organization. So obviously, happily we can match this ID column of the second table, right? So now if you see the first table, Raja. Okay, so Raja's manager ID is 8. Okay, happily now here you can see, if you join these two tables based on this condition. Okay, that means condition in the sense, I mean, so for example, e1 dot manager id is equal to, okay, so if you have alias name for the second table as e2, then e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id. So obviously it will fetch all the matching rows in the sense, Raja is reporting to eighth column. Obviously Raja's manager is Anupama, it will print simply Anupama. So something like that, right? So now let me write the query. Okay, so select, okay, star from employee. Okay, employee underscore SEQ. Okay, so so I'm going to do join. So join or inner join both are same. Okay, so let me give some alias name here. Alias name is very important. Okay, don't forget. So then only it will internally treat those two tables are as a separate tables. Okay, so employee. Okay, yeah, alias name e2. Okay, so now, okay, on, okay, so this condition is important. As I said just now, e1 dot, okay, manager id is equal to e2 dot id. That's it. Okay, so here what I'm going to print. Okay, so e1 dot id. Okay, and e1 dot name. Okay, as employee name. Okay, as I will say emp underscore name. Okay, comma. Okay, so e2 dot name. Okay, as manager underscore name. Okay, so what I'm printing here, if you see, let me execute this statement. Okay, so we got some issue. Okay, no issues, we will resolve this. So select e1 dot id. Okay, e2 dot name as emp underscore name. Okay, e2 uh, name as a manager underscore name. Okay, from employee underscore sequence. Okay, employee underscore sequence join. Okay, yeah, so this is the mistake. On e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot, now it will execute. Okay, so we should not be panic. Okay, see here, if you see, so I'm printing, so these first two columns. So here if you see, these two columns are coming from a left table and right table. Obviously they both are same table only, but internally we will treat the same table as two tables with the help of aliases, right? So now this third column. Okay, this column I'm just fetching from a right table. Okay, so now if you see here, so I hope it is clear. Okay, so manager name. Okay, from employee join. Okay, the same table I'm joining. So I just gave aliases name e1 and e2. So my condition here is, okay, e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id. Why? Because manager is also a kind of employee in the same organization. So now, so by that way it will fetch only the matching rows in the sense, it will fetch employee and its respective managers row from the right table. So obviously it will fetch, for example, in the case of first employee, it will fetch this Anupama. Okay, so obviously it will print something like that. So now if you observe the result. Okay, so here we have got only 9 employees, right? But our, we have total 10 employees, right? See, we have total 10 employees, right? So why didn't print the 10th employee? So why it didn't print in the sense what you have written the condition, your condition is e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id, right? So obviously this 10th row who is CEO, she doesn't have any manager, so right, obviously then that's why this particular row, last row, is not part of this particular query. Okay, so here if you see, that's why you have got only 9 rows. CEO row is not I mean listed out here. So then, okay, so if you see the next question, okay, so if you see the next question, almost the same question, but here if you see here, I mean here if you see, so here in this result, in the next question result, okay, I'm expecting employee ID, name and manager name, okay, for all the employees, even though they don't have any manager. Okay, so then obviously they're expecting even a CEO also should be listed out in the result, right? So for that, okay, it's see, earlier we have discussed in detail about join operations, right? So obviously I mean, you should think about left join for this particular requirement. Okay, so here you need to just use left join. That's it. So left join in the sense, in addition to matching data from table one and table two, left table and right table. Okay, so it will also fetch a non-matching data from a left table. Obviously, it will fetch CEO information. So here, if you see, if I just execute, now you will get 10 rows. See, now Ronnie also has been listed out. Okay, of course you can use some case statement. Okay, I mean case operator to give some, you can give some custom name. I mean no manager or something like that you can give. So I don't want to discuss that one. Okay, so yeah, so now if you see, find all possible pairs of employees, all possible pairs in the sense, see now you have 10 employees, so usually 10 into 10 you will get 100 combinations, right? So but out of 100 combinations, obviously you need to you need to eliminate the same combinations. I mean to say, for example, 10 into 10 in the sense, see this Raja employee should not pair up with himself, right? So obviously we need to eliminate such type of pairs, right? So now for that, what you need to do, okay, so here see now this time I don't want to give this type of condition. So this time I'm interested in e1 dot name. Okay, so e2 dot name. Okay, so here okay, so now, okay, so I will print e1 dot name as emp underscore name. Okay, teammate one. Okay, I will give different name, teammate underscore one. Okay, so this time e2 dot name. Okay, e2 dot name. Okay, teammate underscore two. Okay, so here if you see, you will get around 90 rows. Okay, here if you see 90 rows. Okay, so here if you see, so these are all the possible rows combination, right? So as I said just some time before, you cannot pair up the same employee with himself or with herself, right? So that's why these are all possible unique combinations. That means the first the employee one can pair up with all other 9 employees from the right table, something like that you can think. So by that way you will have some 90 combinations. So yeah, so this is also important. Okay, so the next question. Okay, so find employee ID, name and a manager name. Okay, whose employee and his or manager, one second, residing in different cities. Okay, so this question is, okay, so he just want to know the employees information, who, like whose employee and his manager, they both are residing in a different cities. Okay, so this is a question. Okay, so for that question, okay, so you need to, what you need to think here is, okay, so they are stressing the point of cities, right? So obviously employee and his manager, his or her manager should not reside in the same city. They both should reside in the different cities. So this is a question. So now obviously, so they are talking 2 points, their employee and their manager, right? So whenever they say the employee and manager, obviously immediately you need to keep this condition. Which condition? Okay, so here this condition. Okay, this one e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id. Obviously this should be there. Now in addition to that, okay, what I'm going to keep here is e1 dot city, okay, not equal to e2 dot city. Okay, so what I'm saying, e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id. So by that way, I am, I'm combining the data of this employee and his manager details with this condition, and e1 dot city. E1 dot city in the sense, obviously employees city. Okay, e2 dot city. E2 in the sense, obviously you will get a manager details right here in this condition. So now that manages a city, e2 dot city in the sense manages city, so obviously they should not be same. So now you will get the data accordingly. Here if you see, you have got the data accordingly. Here if you see, uh, of course let me print the cities also, so that it would be more clear. Okay, so here e1 dot city, okay, as emp underscore city, okay, and e2 dot city, okay, as manager underscore city, something like this. Okay, now you will get good clarity. Yeah, here you can see. So here Raja stays at Hyderabad, but Raja's manager stays at Chennai, so something like this. Okay, now Ravi stays at Hyderabad and Ravi's manager stays at Chennai, so something like that. Okay, so yeah, we are good so far. Okay, the next question. Okay, so the next question is also more or less same. Okay, so here now this time we want employees information whose cities are same. I mean for both employee and their managers should stay in the same city. So such kind of employees information now we are expecting. Okay, so obviously the same query. So now this time instead of not equal to, I'm just keeping equal to. Okay, so yeah, here if you see now here if you see, Anil stays at Pune. Anil's manager also stays at Pune only. Okay, here okay, Nikita stays at Pune and Nikita's manager also stays at Pune only. So something like that. Okay, so the next question. Okay, so print manager names. Okay, who has more than three direct reportees? Okay, so this is a kind of a tricky question. Okay, so I want to know the all managers names who has more than three direct reportees. Okay, so for that what you need to do? Okay, so here um, okay, obviously you need to have this condition. Why? Because they are talking about employee and manager relationship, right? So e1 dot manager id. So this time I'm just removing this condition. Okay, so see, they are just looking for only managers names, right? So obviously this whole information is not required. Okay, so I'm just removing this. Okay, yeah, I just removed this. Okay, so what I'm going to do? Okay, so select e2 dot name, okay, as manager. Okay, so here, okay, employee e1 is there, e2 is there, our joining condition is the same condition, e1 dot manager id is equal to e2 dot id. Now, okay, so obviously okay, let me okay, let me okay, so here obviously it will print sometime before we have already seen, right? Okay, let me execute the first case scenario. Okay, so that you will have a good clarity. Okay, so for example here if you see, okay, if you execute this type of statement, okay, so here if you see Anupama, okay, so in order to find out the count of the reportees, why don't do a group by operation on this manager name? So for the so by that way, see, Anupama is here, Anupama is here. Okay, so Anupama is here, so that means Anupama is having four direct reportees, right? So if you do a group by on manager's name, so obviously you will get a count of I mean count of the employee names, right? So that is nothing but a direct reportees, right? So you can apply the same formula here. Okay, so here if you see, um, so we are where we are writing, yeah, here, right? So here, okay, now what I'm going to do, group by, okay, manager, okay, group by manager. Okay, uh, yeah, group by manager, having, okay, having count of, okay, count of, okay, e1 dot name, okay, name greater than 3. Okay, so now let's execute this. Yeah, we have got the result. Okay, so Anupama, okay, Anupama is a manager who, I mean, who is having more than 3 direct reportees, right? So just go through the query what I have written here, okay, so that you will have a good understanding. Okay, I mean, up to here it's a common query. E1.manager ID is what e2.id. As I explained sometime before, I'm just grouping by this manager. Now, I mean, having this count of e1.name greater than 3. Okay, so even you can, you can have this count here also, count of e1 dot name, okay, as I mean report is count, I mean as report is underscore count. Okay, so something like this. So let me execute. Yeah, see, report is count is 4. Okay, for example, okay, if I say greater than 1, okay, now you will get more managers, right? See, you have got more managers. Okay, Anupama is having 4 reportees, Mohan is having 3 reportees, Rani is having 2 reportees. So something like this. Okay, I hope it is clear. The next requirement. Okay, so here if you see, yeah, so find the employee ID, manager name, employee salary. Okay, manager salary, whose employee salary is greater than manager salary. Okay, so that means I want to find out the employees list, okay, who is earning more than his manager. Okay, so this is a kind of requirement. So for this requirement, okay, so see, obviously this condition you should keep manager id is equal to e2.id. So now here, uh, my condition is e1 dot salary, okay, greater than e2 dot salary. Okay, salary. So e1 dot salary is employee salary, and e2 dot salary is a manager salary. Why e2 dot salary is manager salary? Because of this condition. Why? Because as soon as you write this condition, it will fetch you know um, its respective managers details, right? So then obviously then e2 dot salary will talk about the manager salary, right? So now here what we need to print, we are just printing e1 dot name, we are printing manager name, we are printing. Okay, so instead of printing this city, now this time I will print salary, so that you will get a good clarity. Okay, yeah, salary. Okay, and e2 dot city, instead of city, what I will do, salary. Okay, here also small case salary. Okay, manager underscore salary. Okay, so now we are good. Let me execute this. Yeah, see, we have got, so we have only one employee, Raja, okay, who is reporting to Anupama. Okay, so Raja's salary is here 82,000, whereas Anupama's salary is only 80,000. Okay, so yeah, so this is kind of one more interview question. Okay, so I'm just covering, I mean, all possible combinations here. Okay, so the next question, okay, print the employee information who is earning maximum salary. See, maximum salary, obviously you have some max function, so select max of salary from employee. So by that you will get, okay, but interviewer may ask you, okay, without using max function, can you try to find out the maximum salary of employee? So you need to think about the self join. Okay, so here what you need to do, okay, um, so let me remove all this information. Okay, all this information. Okay, okay, so e1.id from employee sequence e1 join. Okay, up to here it is good. Okay, so here I mean I don't want to keep this e1.manager id is equal to e2.id. Why? Because here our question is related to the maximum salary of all the employees. I mean, you have some bunch of employees. Okay, now you want to know the maximum salary. Okay, who is earning the maximum salary, something like that. So obviously this condition is not required. I mean, you no need to by heart, just think logically what you need to do to achieve the requirement. Okay, so now see, obviously you need to keep condition based on some salaries, right? So e1 dot salary. Okay, so e1 dot salary in the sense, obviously employee salary, that is from the left table. So right table here, see, now forget about employee and manager relationship here. Why? Because now your focus is you want to know the maximum salary. So that means you want to compare the each row from a left table with all rows in the right table. Obviously, you should not compare with the same row from the right table, right? So you need to leave that same row from in a right table, and you need to consider the rest of the rows, right? So that means, I mean, each row from a left table should compare with nine rows of the nine rows from a right table, something like that. So then obviously if you do that kind of comparison, okay, so first do your reverse engineering. Okay, first, just try to compare each employee's salary. Okay, if it is lesser than the all employees from a right table, so then by that way you will get all nine employees salary, right? So here, okay, let me show you here once again the result of all employees. Okay, if you see the result of all employees, okay, so only CEO is earning the highest salary, 1,25,000, right? All other employees, okay, are earning a bit less salary, right? Now, if you compare each employee's salary with all nine employees of from a right table, okay, so obviously it is, I mean, this particular employee salary is less than I mean, any one of the row from a right table. Okay, and similarly this employee salary and this employee salary, this employee salary. Why? Because why it is less than, in the sense, in the right table you have a CEO, right? 1,25,000. So obviously this will be less than the CEO salary, so that condition will become true. So it will be listed out. But if you see the last row, 1,25,000 row, now if you start comparing this particular row, okay, this condition will be false. Why? Because if you do that less than E1 dot salary less than E2 dot salary, so this condition will true. This will not be listed out. So obviously you will get the first nine rows. Okay. So then, okay, then you do one more select operation where employee ID not in this result. So obviously you will get this CEO. Okay, CEO salary. So just observe what I am going to do here. Okay, so here if you see maximum salary, okay, E1 dot salary less than, okay, E2 dot salary, okay, E2 dot salary. Uh, okay, so now, okay, so for better clarity, I want to print, okay, um, up to here. Okay, so obviously if you see, okay, I'm just printing employee IDs. Okay, you can see 1 to 9. Okay, obviously 10th employee ID is not printed. Why? Because 10th employee ID is a CEO's employee ID who is earning maximum salary. So for CEO salary this condition is false, so that's why CEO's ID is not listed out. Okay, so now I'm doing a not in operator. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, select star, okay, from employee, okay, uh, employee underscore sequence, okay, uh, select star, okay, where, okay, let me give some alias name. Okay, I'm giving just E. Okay, I'm just printing E dot star. Okay, so where E dot id not in. Okay, so I'm just keeping this result in a parenthesis. Okay, salary, okay, something like this. Okay, so now um yeah, E dot name. So yeah, so let me print this information. Okay, yeah, so here if you see, you have got I mean, employee ID 10, her name is Rani. Okay, she is earning 1,25,000. So you are getting whole information here, you can see. So this is see, this is also kind of a tricky question, so just try to understand the logic how you need to build it up. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, so no need to by heart, so just try to try to understand how it is working internally, so that you will feel comfortable whenever you will ask this type of question. Okay, so okay, the next question here, if you see the same question, I think, who is earning a minimum salary. So the same result here, I'm just changing this condition. Okay, uh, okay, this E2 dot salary. Of course, here, to improve the performance, you can you can add one more condition, E1 dot name. Okay, this one is equal to E2 dot name. Okay, so as I said just some time before, you should not compare the employee with the same employee, right? So no, so if you add this condition, the performance will be improved. Okay, so here if you see salary and e1 dot, okay, name, okay, e2 dot name, okay, e2 dot name, okay, let me execute this. You will get a minimum salary. See, the minimum salary is 35,000. Anil is earning a minimum salary, something like this. Okay, the next question, okay, final question. Okay, so find out the employees information. Who is I mean, you know, um, who is earning minimum salary? Okay, one second. Okay, minimum salary. Okay, I think so. My next question is, I think not the, I just repeated the same question. um, who is elder than manager? Okay, so this is my question. So that means I want to find out the employees, okay, whose age is more than his manager's age. Okay, so for example, this is a question. Okay, so then you need to say, so obviously the question, just try to understand employee and manager. Immediately you need to keep this condition. Which condition? Okay, this condition, manager ID condition, right? So e1 dot, okay, so let me remove this. So e1 dot id, one dot star, okay, I'm just keeping, okay, e1 dot manager id, okay, equal to e2 dot id, okay, and okay, e1 dot is, okay, less than, okay, or greater than, sorry, greater than, right? E1 dot a is greater than e2 dot is. So that means employee is older than his manager. So manager is younger than his reportee. So something like this. Okay, here if you see e2 dot a is e1 dot star, okay, uh, e1 dot star, okay, let me print e2 dot name, okay, as manager, okay, as manager. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, okay, something is wrong. Okay, e1 dot star, okay, e2 dot name, okay, name is wrong right here. So obviously see, now you have got the information right here. If you see, okay, so Nandini is reporting to Anupama. Nandini's age is 42. Okay, but okay, let me print Anupama's age also. Okay, e2 dot age as manager underscore age. Okay, so if you print this, see, Nandini's age is 42, but Nandini's manager Anupama's age is only 35. So that means Anupama is younger than her reportee. Okay. So similarly, Anupama's age is 35. Anupama is reporting to Rani. So Rani's age is 33. Okay. So that means Anupama is elder than Rani. So something like that. So like this, you I mean, you can think in any number of possible combinations with help of self join. I just covered, the maximum number of possible combinations. So 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 this is how self join internally works. So just try to understand the concept, okay, how it is working internally. So if you understand the concept, interviewer, whatever he asks in a logical way, so you can apply this concept and you can frame the query accordingly. Okay, so this is a kind of simple only, but just you need to think in a tricky way. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. Okay, if you really like this video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.